Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on part 2 of the 7th episode of this podcast, Fathers of Taste. You have your two gracious hosts, me, Eli, and your other host, Moses. Say what's up, Moses.
What up?
What's going on?
Not a whole
And
lot.
today, we will be going over the second half of Unearth, Unending. So we're gonna finish out basically the rest of the songs. The last episode we reviewed first time. That was the last song of that first 13. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into the last half of the album, starting with number 14, Francesca. Francesca's actually pretty goated. I think I like the song. I do like Francesca a lot. So on my official pad, I'm gonna change some ratings here, because Francesca has done me some justice, and I think I will turn everything to A's.
Were you low on something before?
My original rating, so lyrics in this order: lyrics, instrumental, production, vibes. It was A B A B. So now everything is all A's in my book. It has grown on me heavily. Francesca's a good song. I'm gonna be honest. This one, funny enough, is also inspired by Inferno. Which is funny because I think it's like a love song from Dante to Beatrice. So, and he's like, if someone asked me at the end, would I do it again? I tell them, put me back in it. I would do it again. And I think it's from I honestly believe it's like a love song. It's like, Beatrice ended up in heaven and Dante went through the 9 circles of hell just to get to her, to be with her in heaven, and how he would go through the 9 circles of hell again to be with her once more. And it's a really catchy song. I'm going to give it all A's. I honestly don't know. We might go up 1. I may or may not give it an S for vibes. It's grown on me a lot. Pretty hefty, if you will. And kind of like the way he sings it is like, I tell her, put me back in it, darling, darling, I would do it again. I would do it again. I was like, alright, you know what? This song is actually a lot catchier than, I first gave it credit for. So, I might change that A to an S, but I think I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna leave it as is with the A's across the board. What about you, Moses?
Honestly, I'm we're right neck and neck with everything. Lyrics, production, beat, vibes, everything I gave A's as well. Honestly, I was kind of scared when the song started because it started off really slow. I wasn't sure, the first 30 seconds I wasn't sure if I was going to be into it or not. And then it hits a switch and it goes from that really slow to an indie rock kind of sound. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm in for this.
You said you were like, oh yeah, that's what you were doing.
I hit a oh yeah. I definitely hit it oh yeah.
Yo, he said I hit an audible ah yeah.
But yeah, this is one that is very tied to Inferno. It's interesting that you draw it back to what's his name? Oh, Dante and Beatrice. Because the song is actually about a couple that's in in the second circle of hell, which is based around lust. And I guess there was a couple that's condemned there. I think what's his name ends up finding I think Dante finds someone named Paolo or Paolo, and basically he tells them of like a love affair that he had with this like woman named Francesca, and Hozier kind of takes that story.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know there was an actual character in the book named Francesca. Now, disclaimer, folks, I have not read Dante's Inferno, but Hozier's album was so good that it made me start reading Dante's Inferno. So maybe I'll give a future update, like a quick future update, later on after I finish reading, Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, it is worth reading. It's a pretty interesting story. I definitely like it. But so yeah, so like when I went to see like what Hozier wrote or like what he said about what he wrote in the song, essentially he kind of wrote a song that preserved the love between the two. Like he thought it was like an interesting story about how like Dante found like Paolo or whatever his name is in that state, and basically Francesca is kind of just reaffirming that love, just being like it's kind of, I think it's partially from both perspectives. It's partially from both Francesca, who I don't know if she's in the book or not, or if they just mention her, but yeah, it's kind of like from both perspectives, Francesca and Paolo. I think the chorus, it said, was more from Paolo's perspective. He was like, I would do it again, like the part that you were singing earlier. And it's basically just about like how strong that love was, that even though they were both, like, they both ended up condemned to hell, that love was so pure that they're both willing to go through all of it, like for that love to have happened. So, pretty good song. I do like it lyrically. I like the rock sound, like the indie rock sound. So everything here is positive for me. I don't really have any negatives about it. I think, I think that's all I've got.
Do it again. Montana, put me back in it. Nah, it is such a good song though. But honestly, yeah, I did think it was a song from Dante and Beatrice. I feel like it does make sense.
I mean, with all the connections to Inferno and like everything, I think it works for sure. I mean, it's still like a love song. It's not like we're twisting it or anything like this or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, it is a love song. So I mean, technically, I guess in a sense I could be right, but if it is about what's the guy's name?
Paolo or something like that?
Paolo. Yeah, it could be more towards that. Like I said, you read it, so I don't know. There might be Francesca in the book. I wouldn't know because I haven't gotten to that part of the book yet. So bear with me on that. And like I said, in the future, when I finish reading Dante's Inferno, I will give you guys an update. Because after I finish reading Dante's Inferno, I'm then going to listen to Hozier's album again. And then there's probably more that's going to solidify itself after I read it. And it's going to be a good time.
We'll drop the Fathers of Prose, and then we'll just have like a whole book review podcast.
The Fathers of Prose. Nah, that's fair. I actually like the idea. We could do some book reviews. But, man, damn, that's a lot to go into.
Right,
we got the music podcast plus books. Oh, my. We're about to be in a world of trouble here. You're going to be like, oh, my God, this book is so... Moses is going to be like, this book is 400 pages. I'm not trying to read it.
No, that would be me. I would be crashing out for sure.
You're crashing out over freaking 400 pages. My goodness. So song number 15 is I Carry It or I Carry It. or in parentheses. So this is, well, it's clearly a love song about Icarus. But what was interesting, though, that I seem to find about it, is that it's a love song, but it's like Icarus is like in such a pure state of love, like, or in a pure high where he's like in a state of ecstasy because of the, like, him being so deep in love that he himself didn't even know he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me solidifies the theory that the Selby Part 2 is Limbo. Now, granted, I could be completely wrong about the Selby Part 2 being Limbo, but honestly, I feel like it makes the most sense, like, also based off of the music video, and, you know, based off of what he says in the song. But I feel like, you know, Icarian kind of solidifies the idea of, like, those that are in limbo, don't even know they're dead, if I'm correct, right? Usually they kind of just wander around. They think they're still alive.
Might be like a 50-50,
and they,
yeah.
like, I'm about to say, they, like, repeat just the same things over and over again until, like, you know, like, whether they repeat, like, a specific moment of their lives or they repeat their entire lives, like, limbo is just a state of, like, you just keep wandering around, essentially. So, like, that's what made me tie Icarian back into the Selby, making, like, solidifying the Selby Part 2 as Limbo. And so for that, I gave Icarian an S for lyrics. I wasn't a huge fan of the instrumental. I gave it a B. And then I gave it an A for production and an A for vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it for my ratings. But yeah, I honestly do believe, though, that it is solidified. I think it does solidify the Selby Part 2 as Limbo. What are your thoughts, man?
I have everything at a... Actually, yeah, I have everything at an A. This is one that I was actually a bit surprised at how much I liked it. Again, this is some more, like, kind of like folk. I did really like that. As we know, that's, like, one of my favorite Hozier sounds. The lyrics were not what I was expecting, because the song is called I carry on / Icarian. So I wasn't positive if it was going to be like Icarus or if it was going to just be something else. Because I felt like a weird way of, like, phrasing it, like Icarian. But, like, looking at the lyrics, you immediately know that it's Icarus. But yeah, taking a more positive spin on his story, saying that, like, that moment of ecstasy, like you were saying, of euphoria, that pure happiness and love, keeping him from knowing that he was dead, was something I thought was very interesting. It's a very unique take of the Icarus story. Most songs or things of media that focus on Icarus, I think, usually will tend to focus on, like, the tragedy of it. But this doesn't feel tragic. Like, at the end of the day, he still, you know, flies too close to the sun and plunges to his death. But you wouldn't, you know, you don't get any sense of it being tragic. You don't get any sense of that being, like, a sad ending to his story. It kind of just feels like just the beginning. So yeah, I did really like where he took this. I did give it an A lyrically. I could maybe bump it up to an S, but
I think it's worth it.
Yeah, everything else is definitely an A. I like the folk. It hits me. It's not doing anything crazy. It's something I'm like, holy shit, like, this was like amazing. It's very calm, very tame. But it works pretty well. So that's definitely where I lie on this one.
I feel lighter than I have in so much time. What was it? He said, all our weight is just a burden offered to us by the world. And though I burn, how could I fall? When I'm uplifted by every word you say to me. Please excuse my terrible Irish accent. But, I enjoyed I Carry, and it was just, that's why I got the vibe at an A. To me, the instrumental is just extremely simple. Yeah. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just simple.
Yeah, it is simpler.
So we got song number 16, Eat Your Young. And boy, this one is another one of my favorites. Definitely, I think Eat Your Young is a tale of like war and poverty. But it's also connected back into Inferno. Which it represents the third circle of hell, gluttony.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like almost every line in the song has multiple meanings. And there's like some political stances that are like, and that are revealed in the song as well. That I thought, made a lot of sense. And it still fits in with the inspiration of Inferno because, like I said, it represents the third circle of hell, gluttony. Mm-hmm. Like he starts off the song. He's like, "I'm starving, darling. Let me put my lips to something. Let me wrap my teeth around the world. Start carving, darling. I want to smell the dinner cooking. I want to feel the edges start to burn." And then he goes into like, I want to race you to the table. I want to race you to the table is crazy. That's gluttony if I ever seen it.
That's big backism.
That's like Moses when we were at Outback.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I might have ate some and then more.
He ate some. He ate some. He ate. Then he ate some, and then he ate more.
I was hungry. It was slapping too. I won't lie.
Yeah, you were like Hozier. I'm like, oh yeah. When Moses hears this, he's gonna relate to this every line.
That's crazy. Every line is nuts.
He's gonna relate to this every line. Every line he's gonna relate to.
Ain't no way.
My god. So for this one, sorry guys, I'm going through my multiple pages of notes that I did for this album to get back to my ratings. So, Eat Your Young gets the sacred quadruple S from me. I love this song. It's definitely one of my favorite songs on the album. I have to reiterate it because you guys need to understand how much of a joy this song is for me to listen to. It's just joy. I get pure joy when I hear this song. And I love singing along with it. It has everything for me in this song. It has the lyrics. It has the nice instrumental. It has great production. And it has a vibe that just makes me want to jam out to it. Like, no matter what mood I'm in, I could be in the worst mood. I put on this song, I'm getting lit. Essentially, that's what this song is. That's why I like the vibe so much. I like the S tier vibe because I feel like no matter what mood you're in, you can vibe to the song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't take too much convincing. I'm upgrading all mine. I initially had everything as an A, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely like this is one that it's not like I could bump it up. This is one I'm like, yeah, I am gonna bump this up. I'm bumping up to all S's too. Man, yeah, the lyrics are really good. These are really good lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of similar to Too Sweet. The way that it fully captures the embodiment of that sin. I think they were both. I think they were both gluttony, and this isn't a folk instrumental, but it is more like soul, and it has like some jazz and things like that. It's definitely a sound that does work for me. It feels kind of like a throwback a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The instrumental kind of feels like something I would have heard like in the 2000s maybe. Like I don't know. There's like some songs I think that this kind of sounds similar to. But yeah, I mean these are like really good lyrics, and the instrumental and everything just perfectly kind of encapsulates like everything. And I really like the vocal performance too, like, especially like when he's doing like the chorus. It's just really good. It's a really good song overall.
Oh, are you talking about when he's like, kiss him,
Mm-hmm.
when the flag comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I love that too, bro. I love
Yeah.
that too, definitely, man.
It's just really good. It's just really good. Yeah, great song. I'm definitely into this one.
Skinny future for a wardrobe. In the front of the table selling bars and goods. Quicker and easier. Yeah, fire song, bro. Fire song, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's like I said, to me, one of the best songs on the album, bro. No, I can't. Nobody's debating that with me, bro. Nobody's debating that with me at all. 26 songs. This one definitely lands in the righteously so, lands in the top 10 songs on this album for me personally. I can't lie. Can't lie. There's a few of them that go in that top 10 slot, though.
Yeah.
You can make a case. There might be like 12 or 13. Like half the album could go into the top 10 if we're being honest. There's a few honorable mentions there. All right, so song number 17, Damage Gets Done. I feel like this song, I think you might like this song, but I won't know until we get to your ratings of that. But I feel like this is a song that you would like.
Yeah, we'll see.
It was?
I said we'll see.
He said we'll see. We're playing hard to get here on the Father's Taste podcast. So we have Damage Gets Done. Damage Gets Done, is the fourth circle of hell, known as the Circle of Avarice, and oh my gosh, it's a circle of avarice, aka greed. The song itself kind of tackles the space of like being young and reckless, and mixing. You're just young and reckless, like you just doing stupid stuff when you're young is essentially what the song is about. And it could like potentially damage future generations, essentially. And then they mess up things for the next generation because you're being young and reckless, just being stupid. So for Damage Gets Done, I gave it an A for the lyrics, an A for the instrumental, an S for the production, and an A for the vibes.
Okay.
It wasn't, it wasn't, there wasn't really much for me to explain for this song. But, like, we do keep following into, like, the inspiration of Inferno. Like, every song practically for the rest of this album is going to be heavily inspired by Inferno.
Yeah, in my research, I did see that this was based on a circle of hell. There's a weird thing going on here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give the ratings first, and then I'll kind of dive into the contents of the song in a little bit.
All right, so you could, I'm about to say you piqued my interest.
Everything in the song I gave an S, minus the lyrics. I'll get to the lyrics in a sec. You were right. This was definitely one that I was.
What would you give to the lyrics if you didn't give that an S?
Well, I'll get to it in a second. But because I want to dive into the lyrics a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, so this song has a feature. Brandy Carlisle, who I don't know her.
Neither.
But her vocal performance throughout the song gave me some like Florence and the Machine vibes. I feel like she kind of sounded like Florence a little bit.
Possibly.
So I was vibing with the vocal performance. I was vibing with the instrumental. I mean, this is. Man, I can't think of the Breach song that I'm thinking of. It could be Robot Voices. I think it might have been something else though. Maybe One Day or something like that. But
You talk about the robots and machines in my room.
Well,
Robot Voices?
Maybe, but I think it actually might have more so been like One Day or something else. But basically, it's a very vibey, almost like summertime vibe song. This is like a really good, like, kind of like rebel anthem. Again, like we've said like a couple times now across a couple of different episodes, this is like one of those ones you could just cruise down with the windows closed, like during like summertime where it's like hot. Like it's just a great vibe. My thing with the lyrics, so I gave the lyrics an A.
Okay. You made it seem like you gave the
like I gave the lyrics something like bad. No.
Yeah, I thought it was like gonna be something egregious.
No. My thing with the lyrics is I don't know, cause yeah, when I looked at it, I saw that it was you said the third circle that was greed, or whatever circle it was that was greed.
It's some third. I think it's the
fourth.
Pretty sure it's the. Hold on, let me look. It's the fourth. Yeah, it's the fourth that's greed.
I was gonna say whatever. Yeah, because it was greed. The thing is, I don't know who that's supposed to take aim with, because the song is for like the younger populations. Like the song is for that like young and reckless and like wild behavior. So my confusion was like I read that greed is supposed to be a part of it, but I don't know who it's supposed to be like about, because it takes a stance with the youngins. I don't really have a better word. The youth, the YNs. Yeah, and what he and Brandy had said about the song also mirrors that sentiment that yes, when you're young, like you're dumb and you do reckless like shit, but that is experience, that like is a learning curve. And that's not how the damage gets done. Like it literally says in the lyrics, what's it say? I don't know how the feeling ended, but I know being young and reckless, or being reckless and young, is not how the damage gets done. One time we would want for nothing. So it's weird because I guess the greed comes from the people that like tries to put that responsibility onto like the youth, not like holding them accountable kind of responsibility, but more like I guess higher ups and people in power position the youth as like this big problem, like this big, oh, we need to, fix the youth because they're young and reckless. But essentially what the song is saying is like everyone was young and reckless at one point. You're putting these problems on the young people that it's not really like their problems because they don't even have the power to fix the problems that you're saying they're responsible for, kind of deal. So my confusion was like how, because that's what I'm assuming, since it does take a sentiment, like it stands with the youth, but it just didn't come across in the lyrics to me. I just kind of had to like make that like kind of like lateral kind of like thinking, just because I know that greed is a part of the song, but it doesn't seem to want to put that greed onto the youth because it's saying that they're not the source of the problems. So I'm thinking the source of that greed comes from like the people in power who try to make it seem like the youth have power when they don't yet. It just was something that didn't come across to me. So it was the only thing that kind of took the lyrics down, just because I was a little confused and had to like kind of like piece and kind of like I felt like I was making a puzzle. But outside of the lyrics, I love everything about this song. I love the vibe. I love the sound. I don't know if you have any other thoughts, Eli.
For Damage Gets Done? Nah. I just think it's a solid song. And that's really all I gotta say about it, honestly.
Yeah.
It is good though. I do like the idea of them like using greed to also go into like youth and recklessness. Because I do know a lot of young people that are like greedy and are reckless. So it's like, they did a good job with to me they did a good job of conveying that idea. So it's like, all right, like, it's a solid song. That's all I have to say, really, for Damage Gets Done. It's just a good song. Song number 18, Who We Are. Moses, I'm not too sure how you're gonna feel about my ratings for this song. But then again, I don't necessarily know what your thoughts are on this song.
Mm-hmm.
So, Who We Are got a B for lyrics for me.
What the hell? Oh, hell nah. Yo, tweaking Jigsaw.
All right. So I'm gonna go over it. But,
what are your other ratings then?
no, it's just a B. I just don't think it deserves an A.
Everything's a B, or you're saying just the lyrics?
Oh, just the lyrics is a B.
What are your other ratings for it?
The lyrics are a B. The instrumental, an A. The production, an A. The vibes, I originally had it as a B. I think I might make the vibe A. I might rate that an A. Actually, no, I will make that an A. So basically just a B for the lyrics and an A for everything else. I just didn't think there was enough there to solidify me giving this song an A for lyrics. It's just nothing I don't really think there was really anything in here that made me go like, this is profound. Like, not really. And comparatively to the other A's and S's, this one seems like one that doesn't have that much, like, it's not that deep lyrically comparatively to the other ones that we've listened to previously. So I feel like I have to give it a B for that.
That's insane. That's crazy.
Now, granted, I mean, let's be real. What does he really say that, like, I don't know. There's nothing in here that I feel like he says. There's a lot of repetition of the chorus. Yeah, it's a lot of repetition of the chorus. Like, I just see the same lyrics over and over again. There wasn't anything really much in this song I didn't take any notes on this song either. There wasn't really much I felt about this song. It was kind of just chorus, maybe a couple of lines for the verse, chorus, couple of lines for the verse, chorus. And that was the song. And I'm just like, wasn't really, like, worth it. But yeah, what are your ratings then? Since my B is surprising to you.
I'll get to that in a sec. we'll deal with your behavior in a bit. Everything else, I'll start with, like, similar to literally like the last song we just talked about. I'll start with Everything Else, and like, now I don't want to just say that last song. Oh, Damage Gets Done. All right, so like Damage Gets Done, I had an S for everything below lyrics. This, honestly, for me, one of, like, the main reasons I gave this an S was the piano. I guess, I don't know if it's piano or organ or, like, what he's using, but it's piano-esque, and the way that he does the instrumental here is something that I think fits very well with In Sunder and High Wraith. I think you get a similar, like, dark academia kind of, like, carnival vibe. At least I picked up on that. That's how I thought it was. And I think getting that vibe and then it reminding me of those two songs that I love so much, I was like, yeah, I'm going to give this an S for everything production, like, instrumental-wise, vibe-wise. I really love it. He had some pretty good notes through this. So I like the vocal performance.
He did have a good vocal performance. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But I don't think there was anything that he said that warranted giving it anything higher than a B.
Nah.
You're gonna have to show me, because me personally, I don't see any reason to give that song anything higher than a B for the lyrics. There's some good stuff in there, but the song is basically all chorus.
It's not, though.
With a lot of vocal performance. So, all right. So
I gotta look at a breakdown of these lyrics.
Let me go to Genius here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the song we're on right now? We're on Who We Are. So I'm gonna look it up. Who We Are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait. Hozier. So Yes, this song is practically all chorus.
He has 2 whole verses. 2 verses, 2 choruses, and then an outro.
Two verses, 2 choruses, a post-chorus, and an outro.
Yeah, but he says 2 lengthy verses. It's not just chorus. Where there's only 1 verse.
It wasn't really. I didn't see. Nah.
That's nuts.
I just. Nah. It's not enough for me to give it an A. I'm sorry. This is probably what is this? One of your favorites? Is this one of your favorites off this album?
I didn't say it was the absolute, but it's probably up there. Better than the Selby.
Which one? Which the Selby?
Both. I like it more than both. Yeah. I said this one was up there. I said this one was up there. I said it.
No. No.
I said it was up there, bro.
Hell no. Hell no. See. Now, that is blasphemy.
That is not blasphemy.
To say that this song is better than both the Selbys, alright. I could get your argument for saying, better than the Selby 1. But this shit is definitely not better than the Selby 2. You've lost your marbles here, Moses.
No.
I can't believe you done this.
I can't believe you've done this. This is just a song I love, bro. I love everything about this song.
So what did you give for the lyrics? Please enlighten me as to what you gave for the lyrics.
You sure you want to know?
I'm certain.
I'm playing.
The audience has to know.
The audience has to know?
Yeah, the audience has to know.
I did give it an A. I didn't give it an S. I gave it an A.
Well, yeah, because if you gave it an S, I was going to be all in that S. But yeah, because I'm like, hell no. Ain't no way in hell you think that shit is an A for lyrics. There's no way.
No, yeah. A,
no
yeah. A for sure.
I don't think it's an A either, bro. I'm gonna keep it straight with you, bro. I think you're glazing it a little bit.
No, I'm not glazing. I'm not glazing.
I honestly think you're glazing it just slightly, bro. Just slightly.
No. I thought you liked Hozier.
I do like Hozier, but that's a B for lyrics, bro.
It's not a B. Let's be
real. Comparatively to how lyrically dense everything else has been, this is lackluster. This is lackluster. Comparatively to everything else that we've seen in this album, this is lackluster lyrics, bro.
Nah.
Ah, man. It's alright, bro. When the audience listens to this album and they find for themselves, they're just gonna look at you like you got 3 heads, Moses.
That's crazy.
They're gonna look at you like, yeah, what is this nigga talking about? And I'm just gonna look at him like, I don't know, bro. That's your man's. Oh my god. Nah. Alright, so I mean, an S. So you gave an A for lyrics and an S for everything else. You basically rated this song a 19 out of 20.
Essentially, if you want to look at it that way.
You think this song is worth 19?
If I gave the Selby an A for or the Selby 2 an A for lyrics, I'm definitely giving this an A.
Bro, the Selby Part 2 is more lyrically dense than this song is.
I don't like the Selby too. Actually, no. I came around a bit more on the Selby too. It was just the Selby 1 that I really couldn't stand. But, no, yeah. Look, man, look. I'll accept being in the minority, you know. I can accept that. I can acknowledge it's probably not the popular opinion, but I think you could definitely, I think you can break into this maybe more than what you're thinking.
Saying I'm being my broke brother. No convincing me, bro.
You don't like the...
Not on this one.
Mm.
And I do think it's a good song. I really, truly do believe that it is a good song. I just don't think it's worth 19 points. I don't.
I think it is.
I just can't. I can't give it S's for all that stuff. I'll give A's for it, but A for the lyrics, and like I said, the Selby Part 2 is definitely more lyrically dense than Who We Are. But, this is why we're here, folks. This is one of those times where we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. There's no changing our stances on this one. This one, I stand firm with a B for lyrics, and I love Hozier. Just because I love you does not mean that I'm going to inflate your ratings. I'm just gonna be honest and be like, yeah, this one wasn't just not as lyrically dense as all the other content that we've been listening to, honestly. And leave it at that. Hold on. So I'm scrolling through. I'm going through my notes again.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase it.
We are going to move to the next one. And Moses, it's about to sound like I'm glazing it, but I'm not. I promise you, I'm not glazing it. I swear.
Bro, we're about to do this song after you just basically just shat on Who We Are.
I'm not gonna glaze it. I didn't shat on it. I just said it just wasn't as lyrically dense as the rest of the songs we've been listening to.
Nah,
I like it. I gave it A's for everything except for lyrics.
Nah, you gotta look more into those lyrics. You gotta look at some discussions.
Or Christ, hold me like a knife. I liked it. It was a good vocal performance. It's just I don't think it deserves an A for lyrics, bro.
Nah, it gets an A
for
lyrics.
We delve into Son of Nyx, which is just an instrumental. But funny enough, it plays a pretty interesting part in the album. So it's obviously an NA for lyrics because there is none. So you kind of just have to be like, all right there. But for everything else, though, I gave it A's. I like the instrumental. I like the production, and I like the vibe. Now, there is some background, and this is just an instrumental, but there is a lot of background surrounding this instrumental, which Moses did not do any research on this one because he wanted to hear what I had to say about it. Excuse me. Taking a little bit of a swig there of some Simply Peach. This stuff is pretty good. We are not sponsored, by the way. But, Simply, if you want to sponsor us, that'd be great. Anyway. So Son of Nyx is, so though it's the only instrumental of the entire album, it provides, there's a good bit of inspiration to the story of Nyx, the goddess of night in Greece, right? And her son, I don't know if it's pronounced, I don't know if it's pronounced Sharon or Sharon. It's Charon. I don't know how it's pronounced. But basically, he's the guy that guides newly dead souls across the river Styx, which ties into the theme of Hozier's character being dead. Hozier's character, quote unquote. I don't know if it's Dante or if it's Hozier or if it's a character Hozier made. I'm not too sure exactly what it is. But, it's like, they also apparently, ties into Dante's beginning steps towards the light or heaven, for example. And they said it signifies the fifth circle of hell, which is wrath. Which, I mean, makes sense. But there's some more background on it where he has a friend whose father passed away, and his dad's name was Nick. So technically, the guy that he's friends with is the son of Nick, but like son of Nyx. So it's like, it was like a little cool play on words that he did with the instrumental. It was a cool little play on words that he did with the instrumental, for it to serve multiple meanings. So like, his friend is the son of Nick, but then like, it's really about the son of Nyx, like the goddess of night. But then it's also like tying into Dante's Inferno, all with just an instrumental. And I guess it embodies wrath because of like the background information like of it. So I guess the story of Nyx, or like the legend of Nyx and her son, as well as his friend who was the son of Nick, I guess has some anger from his father passing. But these are all speculation. But he himself did say that son of Nyx was like the fifth circle of hell, wrath. So we know that much. But everything else that I'm giving you is kind of like speculation and what I think may or may not be. He also did say that it was also about his friend too, son of Nyx, because he's the guy that plays the piano at the beginning part of the instrumental. So he was the guy that made that first part of the instrumental, and then I guess they kind of just added to that. So basically what we were hearing was the actual like voice note. It was just a voice note that he sent, and Hozier was like, yo, this is beautiful. We should add and expand onto it, and that's kind of how the track came to be. Yeah, I'm hoping you're taking all of that in. Yeah. It's not glaze, I swear. It's actual factuals.
Actual factuals. Wait, did you give ratings for it?
Yeah. It's NA for lyrics, and I gave A's for everything else.
I don't know what I would give this, to be honest. I think I definitely would give it...
You didn't put no ratings for it?
No, I didn't put no rating for it. I wasn't sure if I cared about this or not.
Damn.
I'll give it A's for production and instrumental. Probably just a B for vibes, because I'm not gonna listen to this ever again.
I'm not gonna listen to this ever again.
Like, I don't have too much interest in a instrumental Hozier song, unless it was doing something. It's a nice, tame song. Not too much going on. It's decent enough instrumental, so I do think it's made well. So definitely A for how it's made. I just I don't know. Like, yeah, I probably wouldn't ever listen to this song again if I'm being honest.
That's fair. But it's still better than Intentions though.
I'll give it that. If
I'll
the
give it that.
if the bar is intention, it clears.
It's like it clears attention.
I do not care about intentions.
I know 21 Pilots. If 21 Pilots ever listens to our podcast and they hear us talking as much crap about intentions as we talk about, I know we might be hurting some feelings, bro.
They probably put like so much, no pun intended, intentions. They probably put a lot of intentions into like how it sounds and stuff. Like, it's probably supposed to emulate a certain vibe. I could care less. I couldn't care less about the vibe it wants to give off.
Like, my God, bro. So let's see. So you just gave it A's and a B. That's fair. That's fair. So then that means we got to move to the next one. All Things End. Moses swears up and down that this song sounds like a gospel song. I just don't hear it. I really don't.
That's nuts to me. It's nuts to me.
I heard more gospel in him to Virgil than I heard in All Things End.
Nah, you're tripping.
But like, nah, cause that's like saying, so you remember the Quadeca album, right? I Didn't Mean to Haunt You. That's like saying Fractions of Infinity sounded like a gospel song.
You said what sounds like a gospel song?
Huh?
You said what sounds like a gospel song?
I'm like, that's like you saying that Quadeca's song Fractions of Infinity sounds like a gospel song.
I don't remember Fractions of Infinity.
Good. Alright, so take a moment, go look that up, put in Quadeca, Fractions of Infinity, listen to a little bit. That has a choir in it too. Just because it has a choir does not mean
it's not just the... It's, alright, when we get to my turn, I'll break down everything, because I just Googled All Things End Hozier genre, and everything is throwing gospel in there, as well as like other sounds. I'll get to it. I'll let you do your spiel first. I'll get to it. I'm
like, if anything, what's the name is more gospel. Take Me to Church is literally more gospel than All Things End, bro.
No. All Things End definitely has gospel in there. But I'll let you give your ratings. I'll let you give your ratings first.
All right, so what did I give for All Things End? Oh yeah, All Things End got the quadruple A's all across the board. Quadruple A's across the board. Yeah, it's an extremely solid song. I like it. It had a really nice vocal performance too. And it's like literally a lot of things about like a relationship ending. Like, a lot of things. Like, he just basically said everything ends. No matter how much time we think forever is, or whatever forever is, at the end of the day, everything ends. And, you know, that's fair. That's fair to say. That's fair to believe. It might be, like, pessimistic, but, I mean, it's realistic. I did like the song, the way that he sung it. He's like, in all things and
You gave this an A for lyrics, but not fucking... That's crazy.
You're gonna what? You're gonna talk about who we are?
Yeah.
You think
I'm not over
all
that.
all things end as better lyrics.
They're on the same. They're on the same level. They're on the same level.
No, it's not.
Yes, they are.
It's not.
You don't like songs about the human experience. You don't like songs about the human experience.
So look. He said, if there was anyone to ever get through this life with their heart still intact, they didn't do it right. Then he said, last time I felt your weight on my chest, you said we didn't get it right, but love, we did our best. Like, there was some actual stuff in here that I just was like, yo, I like that. I just don't think Who We Are had it. I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to be mad at it, bro. You're just gonna have to be mad, bro. There's nothing changing my stance on this. I just think All Things End has better lyrics, bro. And he said, all that we intend is built of sand, slips right through our hands, and just knowing everything will and just knowing that everything will end won't change our plans when we begin again. Like, come on, bro. This is poetry right now, bro. Who We Are did not have this.
It did. You're not looking close enough.
Nah,
you didn't even have to look that close enough. You know, you just missed it though.
Nah. I looked close. I was all in it.
You were just looking at the spaces in between.
I was every letter, every word, every syllable.
I call cap.
I was looking at everything.
I call cap.
And All Things End is better lyrically than Who We Are, and I will die on that hill. I'm not gonna lie. But as far as gospel, like I said, I don't necessarily hear it. I'm like, in my opinion, just because there's a choir doesn't mean that it's gospel. But, you know, Hozier does have a thing where he does, he goes into a bevy of genres, but his biggest hit, Take Me to Church, was obviously gospel inspired. So yeah, there's that. What else? I don't think, for All Things End, I didn't have anything else. Oh wait, hold on. Do I have anything else? Let me go through my notes really quickly. My notes. Oh. So I said on the surface of All Things End, right? The song is the end of a relationship. I said in deep meaning, the song refers to heresy, which is the sixth circle of hell, which, in all honesty, fits very well as the person doesn't believe what has to be said by Hozier, which is literally like kind of the definition of what heresy is. Like, you're not believing you're believing something opposite of what is coming directly out of the person's mouth. And the song it was a beautiful vocal performance. And it was just a good song. But honestly, it just wasn't better. To me, it wasn't better lyrically than... I mean, not even on the same plane. Who We Are has to be like the worst song lyrically off this album, bro.
Fucking cap, bro.
What song has worse lyrics? What song in this entire album has worse lyrics than that? Besides the one that's not applicable for lyrics.
There's definitely songs that we've covered that don't have. There were a bunch of songs that we gave B's lyrics for, or like lyrics B's for.
Who? For you? For you?
For both
Yeah,
of
baby.
us.
No.
Did we not
B.
both give Wildflower and Barley B for lyrics?
No, I gave Wildflower and Barley A.
You gave an A? What the hell? Oh yeah, you're just tripping, bro.
I'm not tripping.
July is worse
tripping.
lyrically.
You said the who?
July is worse lyrically. That You Are is worse lyrically.
Then what? Then who we are?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hell no. Nah, bro. Nah, you're bugged, bro.
There's no way in both half of these episodes like that there was just one song in particular that we both were like, oh, what like what kind of rating is that?
Yeah,
we had the Selby in part 1 and now we got fucking Who We Are in this one.
Yeah, we both got like, what the fuck is that rating?
Though to be fair, you and I were looking for two completely different things out of this, or not looking for, we found two completely different things out of this album.
Yeah, that is true.
To be fair.
That is true. You were more catered to like the folk and like calm stuff. I was more catered to, I did like the folk, but I was like more catered to like the soul slash pop slash, like, you know.
I think some of them are like a funk rock kind of.
Yeah, like a funk rock. Yeah, some of those. Yeah, I was into those, but yeah, nah, bro. Who We Are is alright, bro. It's okay. I still think there are a lot of things lyrically better than it, but hey, you know, to each his own. To each his own. Now, what were your ratings for All Things End? And,
All Things
so
End.
you could pull up these in.
Well, there's no debate here. I actually also had all A's. And it was funny. I actually gave the instrumental a B because of the gospel vibe.
You gave the instrumental,
or not a B. I think I said B for the beat. I don't know why I said B. My fault.
Oh no, you said A's all across the board.
I did, and then I think I accidentally said B when I was reading beat.
That makes me really lose.
No, I gave it an A because of the gospel vibe. There we go. I said it right that time. Yeah, it was all A's for me. Again, I do like the lyrics. They were ones that I resonated with. And then, yeah, everything else from the like soul to the gospel was stuff that I vibed with. So I don't really have anything different to say, but for some reason you don't hear gospel from this, and I don't know. I literally don't know how. Like it doesn't frustrate me, but I feel like it's kind of driven me crazy because we've had this conversation like 3 times in like text message, and now we're having it here for the podcast.
Imagine I'm like just rage baiting you this entire time.
Honestly, it'd be a pretty good rage bait. Because like the thing is, like I don't even know if I would say like rage. It's more just like insanity bait. Like I feel like you're driving me crazy. I'm pointing to the piece of paper that's all white. I'm like saying this is white, and you're like, I don't know, it's kind of gray. I don't see any white. I'm like, bitch, the fuck you mean you don't see any white?
No. It's like you're pointing to the paper that's all white, and I'm just like, nah, that's cream.
it's green. I'm like,
oh my god,
it's driving me crazy though. Like I've been spending like all this time looking at like all things N Hozier genre. I even went to the Hozier like subreddit for that individual song. And
you went to the Hozier subreddit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Hozier subreddit?
Yes. There's a Hozier subreddit, and there's actually there was like a conversation that was going through like song by song, I guess, when when the album first came out. And so I have a thread about, people just talking in this like in the Reddit about the song. Bro, everything I'm seeing has gospel included. I'm so lost by how you don't. It drives me nuts. It drives me insane.
So, I had a thought. I gotta say it now. We'll get back to that in a second. But, what was your friend's name that liked Hozier? We gotta send him
Xavier?
This first and second part. Yeah, this first and second part of the album review and see what he says, bro.
I gotta even ask him if I'm sure he has heard the album before, but yeah, I do know that
Has he listened to it front and back is the question.
I don't even know if he's listened to it. I feel like he probably has, or at least heard like a good bit of the songs if he hasn't heard it front to back. I don't know. I gotta ask Xavier.
You gotta get his thoughts on that, and then we gotta talk about that, and like maybe like an update, like at the beginning of an episode or something. But no, I'm not gonna lie. This whole time, I played it back after a little while, and yeah, I did get a little bit of gospel undertones. This whole time, I was just like crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. After I went back,
a relief.
After I went back and listened to it afterward, I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Because I even text you. You were like, but this song seems like more gospel. I'm like, I'm not saying that other song isn't.
Virgil definitely is more gospel, bro.
No, it's not more gospel. It's not more gospel. You said, you said hymn to Virgil. I'm about to look it up right now. You said hymn to Virgil.
Hymn to Virgil.
I'm getting rage baited,
Hymns
bro.
are literally used in church, bro. Hymns are literally used in church, bro. I do feel like hymn to Virgil is more gospel than
No, there's no.
Where am I at here?
It's not. Okay, some gospel vocals, organ textures, okay. I wouldn't say it's more, though. Because there's only one thing I'm seeing that even has anything relating to gospel in it. But it exists. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's more. This one, I think, is more outwardly gospel. Like, this just straight up, just is gospel at its core, infused with, R&B and the other genre I was talking about earlier. I can't remember what it was, but what was it? And soul.
And I to watch your lips turn blue. I would burn the world to bring some heat.
That was driving me crazy, because I'm like, what do you mean you don't hear God? I'm like, what do you mean? Literally,
what do you mean you don't hear God?
From...
It's like, your ears work? Your ears work?
From, the doom, doom.
I can just imagine you just yelling.
I am, because I'm
in your brain.
From the second it starts with the organ, the doom, 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 the piano, the organ, the entire time is gospel. The very ending, when the choir comes in and they're delivering the line and they're clapping in between, nigga, that's a sermon. They're giving that during a sermon. It is gospel to the max. And I'm like, how do you not hear it? I'm like, this drives me insane, bro. Insane. Oh my gosh. We need to go to another song. We need to go to...
Yeah, so he said we got to move on. He said we need to move on. So, the next song is called To Someone from a Warm Climate. Ausstauverett. I hope, please, Irish folk, hopefully I'm not butchering it too badly, but I'm pretty sure in the song he does say, like, Ausstauverett. The feeling only cold water brings. There's some things that no one teaches you, love. But yeah, To Someone from a Warm Climate, Ausstauverett, has grown on me, actually. It wasn't like it wasn't a bad song before, or that it was a bad song before, but I gave it an A for the lyrics. I gave it a B for the instrumental. I gave it an A for production, and I gave it a B for vibes. But I'm inclined to give it an A for the vibes. I'm inclined to give it an A for the vibes. I mean, it's a good song, but I do feel like I feel like all 4 minutes of the song. And I know when I feel the entire time that the song is, it brings the vibe down for me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always been a thing. If I feel all, like, 4 minutes of a song, it's like, all right, you know, we gotta move on, like, change the next song. That's basically kind of how I felt. Now, granted, it is still a good song. There are some things in there that I did like. That, like, I have, you know, no issues with. So I give A's everything else A's, sorry, and leave that instrumental. I'll leave that instrumental a B, and everything else would be A's. I give it that at least. Actually, nah. I'm gonna stick with the AB that I got, because like I said, when I feel all 4 minutes of a song, or however long the song is, and you feel every minute of it, it just brings down the vibe for me. So, yeah, I give it AB. Stick to where I'm at with that.
Oh God, To Someone from a Warm Climate. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna I'm gonna go back to the Selby Part 1. And I am going to upgrade my C at vibes to a B. And honestly,
well, the Selby 1?
Yeah, the Selby 1. Did I say the Selby 1?
Yeah, you said it.
The Selby 1, because I think I ultimately gave that a C for vibe. I'm gonna give that a B. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to I think production was also a B. I'm gonna switch that to an A, because I can respect the Gaelic, you know. The content of the lyrics themselves don't faze me any different than they did back then, so I'm still giving that a B. But I can respect the singing more, like the singing in Gaelic. And honestly, because I told you there were some like songs from Hozier, I don't even know why, but there were some songs from Hozier that were just stuck in my head earlier today, like when I was at work. And some of the Gaelic was part of that. I think, especially since you were singing it a bunch too, I think it just ended up being catchy. So I can respect it. I can give it an A for production. I'll change that grade. And I feel like the reason why I'm changing that grade is because I don't fucking like this song. I don't vibe with this song at all.
over it.
No. I don't.
The feeling only cold water brings. There's some things that no one teaches you love. You don't like it?
I gave it an A for production for the high notes. I respect the high notes. I like the vocal performance. Everything else I gave B's, and honestly the reason why I went back on to Shelby Part 1 is because I actually want to take my vibes here to a C. And I'm like, I vibe with the Selby more than I vibe with this.
Damn.
I don't like this.
That's fair.
It gave me, I won't lie, it gave me a new appreciation for DeSelby. So yeah, I'm actually gonna give this one a C for vibes as opposed to DeSelby because I don't think they're on the same level vibe wise. And yeah, it'll just be B B A C.
Damn, BBAC.
Yeah.
Damn.
I did not like this one. I did not like this one.
I am surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised. But I understand. But damn, BBAC, not even an A for the lyrics.
No. I don't look. I like Who We Are lyrically way better than I like this. This
Here we go.
I'm just saying this doesn't touch that in my book, so no, it doesn't get an A lyrically.
Alright. That's fair. So then we'll move on to our next one that's probably gonna be controversial then. And our next song is Butchered Tongue. Butchered Tongue? Alright, so SBAB. S for lyrics, B for instrumental, A for production, and B for vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Butchered Tongue was a really well-written song. The problem is, there wasn't really much of an instrumental. Yeah, there wasn't really an instrumental, bro. It was just like, I don't know, like soft, somber, like piano. And, I felt every minute of it. But those lyrics, I do think he did do his thing for this song. Hush Pequena and Guibara. I mean, yeah. Appalachia Cola, Hush Pequena, like Guibara.
Bro, speaking Sims.
I'm speaking that tongue. Hopefully, my Irish people aren't too mad at my pronunciation of these words.
As someone that's 15%, I think you good, gang.
And hopefully they're happy with my my pronunciation of these words, and hopefully I sound good with my Gaelic, hopefully, maybe. But yeah, Butchered Tongue was a really well written song. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as what is it? Eat Your Young. I think this one's also like a tale of like war. Definitely a tale of war. But it also goes into the seventh circle of hell, known as the circle of violence, which the inspiration obviously from Dante's Inferno. But I believe what was the other one? There was another one that was also like the seventh circle. I just can't remember. There was another song throughout this album that also referred to the seventh circle of hell. It was also violence too. I just can't remember.
There was an earlier song, I think that
it was
violence,
an earlier song, but I just can't remember which song it was.
With violence. Oh, it was the one. It was the one about. It was the one about like boys, right? Like, maybe not. Maybe not.
Can't believe I can't remember, bro. But there was like another one that dealt with violence too.
Maybe
that
Empire
I think was a part of the seventh circle.
Maybe it was Empire Now
as well.
I can't remember. It felt like another like lore one. I can't remember though.
But yeah, so like that was a part of it. And it was also like he was also talking about like things like around the Wexford Rebellion. So it was like when the Irish were breaking free from the British, I believe was the Wexford Rebellion. So the way that he kind of tied it all together and then still was able to bring it back into the theme of the inspiration of the album and Dante's Inferno, he did a really good job writing that song, which is why I gave it an S for the lyrics, because the way he was able to juggle all of that and put it together into one, and it still makes sense into the story of Dante's Inferno, but it also makes sense in referring to real life events that also played a part. I think it's just a well-written song. Now, my thing is like I said, when it comes to the vibes and stuff like that, it kind of gets like choppy when I feel every minute of the song. Like the vibe kind of plummets a bit for me. And there wasn't too much going on with the instrumental, so that also kind of brought down the vibes for me a little bit. But, you know, nonetheless, still a really well-written song.
Yeah, a little slightly different. I also had a B for vibe. It's pretty. It's short. It's 2.5 minutes, which is it's interesting that you said that you felt like every minute of it, because it is a shorter song, but again, it's one where there's not a whole lot going on, so I completely understand that sentiment, because it's very... It's kind of somber, I guess you could say. It's just very... I don't know, I guess tame in what it's doing. It's not really doing a whole lot, but I think the reason why is because it really wants you to focus on the lyrics, and lyrically I did give it an A. I really like, because like this whole song is about like the preservation of culture and languages and how that can be stripped away and what kind of like catharsis comes from getting back your native tongue, getting back your native history. I love that. So I did give it an A. And then, I mean, everything else I gave A's, like production and beat. It is pretty tame. I do like to mix in with like the violin, because it is mostly like the piano, like you were saying. It's very kind of like acoustic in that way. But then there's times where there's like a violin that comes in and makes it feel like a little bit different, gives a little more weight to it. But not really anything is happening here besides the lyrics. But I mean, that's fine, because this felt again, this is a very cultural song. Like the importance of culture and history is kind of at the forefront of this. So the lyrics and what they kind of represent are the main focus. I think it's pretty effective that the instrumental and everything dies down. That way you can just really focus on the emotion that comes from the lyrics. Yeah, nothing really else to say. I did enjoy this one. It's probably not one I would put in my playlist, but it's one that when I heard it in the album, I was like, I can respect this. Like, I get what he's doing, and honestly, that is a good... Yeah, I see why he's doing it, and that did strike me.
So then we go to our next track, Anything But. Anything But. Let me go back and listen again. Give me a quick. Oh yeah, that one's like, come here to me, I wish I was a mayfly on the river take. That one might have to get A's all across the board. I originally had it A-B, but I go back and I listen to it and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I might. I think it's more respectable to give it all A's, if I'm going to be honest with you. That folk, that upbeat, tempo. I think everything was good. The production, everything, the way the lyrics went. Anything But wasn't one that I had a lot of notes on. I didn't have a lot of notes for that song. Funny enough. And, like, towards the end of the album, I started realizing that I didn't have a lot of notes for some of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, on the surface of this one, it's like, it's a song about making distance from your partner, basically. And, it doubles as the eighth circle of hell, which deals in malicious deception and betrayal. So in them trying to make distance from their partner, there's also deception, a lot of deception in it that deals with it, because it's like, you make it seem like you want to be with me, but also like you also want to have some separation from me. Like, what is that about? Which I think plays a part into the malicious deception as it is. But yeah, man, this one was a pretty good one. It was a pretty solid track overall. I didn't have too much to say for it. I just know, like, once we started getting to the end and we started getting into like the other circles of hell and stuff, it was a little it started becoming not necessarily a little tedious, but when we started getting toward the end of the album, I'm not gonna say like lyrical content was lost, because it definitely wasn't. There's still a lot of lyrical content there. I just think we were better lyrically in the first half of the album than we were towards the end.
I was just kind of going through some of this real quick. Okay, so...
Oh, you good, bro?
All right, so...
Oh no!
What?
I didn't mean to do that.
What? Uh-oh.
That's spoilers.
Oh, okay.
It's all right.
You're gonna think my rating's interesting. So you remember how I told you? Actually, I didn't say this at the end of the episode. I don't think I told you this after we had finished recording the first part. That in the 13 songs that we had covered, we had not gotten to my favorite track.
This is your favorite one?
Well, I guess when you put two and two together, I guess one could infer that this could be potentially, hypothetically, my favorite track in the album.
This could potentially. I mean, cut the bullshit, nigga. Is it the favorite or is it not?
It is my favorite track.
Don't look the other way.
But yeah, I love this song. I honestly...
Why did I think this was gonna be? I was like, you know what? This might be. It is that exact folk vibe that you were talking about before. That you really liked, and I'm like, I put no thought to it, but then I thought about it again, and I'm like, oh, this is probably gonna be Moses' favorite song. I'm not gonna lie. Crazy.
I love this song. I love this song so much. I honestly, I wish I could give it a hug. I love this
I
song.
wish I could give it a
Like, I can't stress, like, the way I was crashing out about, like, the Shelby when we were covering it is the complete opposite here. I can't tell you how much I love this song, dude. I can't get enough. It's, yeah, like you said, folk. I really love that it's like a folk, it's folk and synth. So you're getting like a bit of like a mixture of like some eras. Like you're getting a mixture of like some modern sounds, like electric. Like you have like some synth. But then like you have like some traditional in it too, like with the folk, like the guitar. I really love the way that it sounds. It's energetic. I actually, in my notes, I wrote that it gave me like a Coldplay vibe. And I love Coldplay. They're like one of my favorite bands back in the day. The song, because last time I compared a song to Coldplay, I forgot what song I wanted to compare it to, but this time I actually wrote it down. It kind of gives me like a On Top of the World kind of vibe, like musically. So it's like an energetic, like it's just like an energetic song. And then lyrically, yeah, I mean, I love this lyrically as well. And I wrote down a comparison in my notes for this too. And the comparison I had was actually a more recent album that we covered. Actually, I guess it would be the album right before this, was Impera with Darkness at the Heart of My Love. And the reason why I drew that comparison is because it, like, lyrically, it's doing the almost the exact same thing where it's a facade of a love song. Like, we dove very heavily into Darkness at the Heart of My Love being more than like a love like song on the surface.
Right.
That there was a lot more context that you could pick at like the lyrics about. And this one, with how energetic and how good the vibes are, is a dark song. It's like essentially the reason why I drew comparisons to Darkness at the Heart of My Love is because like my reading of Darkness was it being like Satan lending out like a hand to like a lost soul, and the song basically being about like corruption. This song, as you said, it dives into the eighth circle of hell, which is the place for frauds and like liars, essentially. More so like frauds, people that like con other people. And I loved the way that comes across here because the vibe of the song is very like positive.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel like a love song. Like you get like a lot of like misleading lyrics. Like you have like what's it called? Like, if I was a stampede, you wouldn't get a kick. I want to be the shadow. When my bright future's behind me. Like a lot of the lyrics kind of go into like, oh yeah, like if I was a riptide, I wouldn't take you out. Yeah, I was kind of just going through.
Yeah, if I was a riptide, I wouldn't take you out. It was a funny one to me. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, there's lines like that like, make it. So what?
You could make an argument that line itself is like a double entendre of like an actual riptide, but like an actual riptide, like water taking you out, but like a riptide though, I wouldn't take you out, like take you out on like a date or take you out to a place or like, you know, all that stuff. Which I felt also like played into the part of the lyrics kind of being misleading, which is why, again, it goes into the A circle of hell for like frauds and like conning people and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly why, you know, I was like, yo, it could honestly double as that, and it would also make sense for the circle that he's referring to. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is that, and maybe he did mean it is that. So, like, we come up with all of these conclusions and comparisons of what might be possible just based off of, like, how he set it up. Like, this entire album was so good lyrically that it was like it has you drawing comparisons to other albums, other themes. Then it has you drawing like comparisons to other songs and making connections between songs. Like, the album was so well written that it was like, you know, sometimes you gotta take the extra step and you know, getting some things together.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did like it, bro. I appreciated the song for what it is. Anything but, I did like the folk vibe. It was a pretty good vibe. And like the way that he sung certain parts of it was like, you know what? A part that I especially liked that he sung was like, he said, I want to be so loud, I'm talking seismic. And his accent comes out when he says seismic, and I was like, you know what? I like that, bro. I like that. That sounds like nice. It sounds nice. It sounds like, you know, it was a fun way to put the song. And like we said, it is a dark song, but there's some good lyrics. It's some good lyrics.
Yeah, it's great lyrically for me. Like we were just saying, like with the, like if I were a Riptide, I wouldn't take you out, or like if I was a Stampede, you wouldn't get a kick. Like, it's all these like romantic gestures, and like it, like on the surface plays with that like fun vibe, but then like looking into it, knowing that we're talking about hell as we do with a lot of these songs, and putting into perspective like who's saying this and like what they're actually like meaning when they say it is great, because like when you get like there's like a kicker at the end of this song. I want to be the last thing anybody ever sees. I hear he touches your hand and then you fly away together. If I had his job, you would live forever. And when I read about the song, it broke it down. It was like, this is speaking from someone who, like, the he that he's referring to in that like little statement there was deaf. And essentially what the speaker, whoever the speaker is saying is like, if I were deaf, you would live forever. If I had his job, you would live forever. Which, you know, on the surface, you take that as like, oh, like that's romantic. That means like you'd never like do anything to like hurt me. You would, you know, you'd keep me around. But really what it is like, yeah, it's an endless torment, basically.
Yeah,
like basically there's no escape.
I was literally about to say that. I'm like, yo, you're literally an immortal. Like, you're not gonna die. Like, you're just gonna live agonizing pain forever. For as long as you live on this earth, if I was deaf, you're not dying. So therefore, that means we can't be together, which means therefore, like, yeah, it sounds romantic. Yo,
that's why I love this song.
It sounds romantic, but like at this, he's a fraud.
He's a fraud. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. He's a fraud.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. That just gave me an even newer found appreciation for that song. Cause whoa. Honestly, yo, I don't know if that's enough to bump it up to an S, but that makes a really good argument, bro. It makes it a really good argument. This might be like in all of the circles of hell that we've been through so far, this one might be one of the ones that I think he's communicated clearly. Like Gluttony was one that he conveyed extremely well.
Yeah, Gluttony for sure.
Violence was another one that he conveyed extremely well. And now this one, you got like fraudulence, like lying, like, and he also he conveys that really well too. This is a good song. Honestly, I was like, whoa, like wow, like I love you. I love you so much that we can't be together. I love you so much that I would keep you alive to keep you from meeting me. What? Like, yeah, that's good shit, bro. That's good shit. Let me see. Anything else on Anything But?
No. I really love that song.
I just know that that's your favorite one. That is your favorite one. I can't believe it, bro. Well, no, not I can't believe it. I can. I figured that was going to be, but I didn't expect you to like it like that much comparatively.
Oh yeah, I absolutely loved it.
So our next song number 24. We have 2 songs left, by the way, guys. Thank you for going through this journey of an album with us. This behemoth, this colossal album, if you will. 26 songs, an hour and 39 minutes. And Moses took it like a champ. Because me personally, I love this album from start to finish. So for him, he had some things that he didn't really like that much. But from start to finish, I love this album, bro. I love this album. I like everything about it. There's a bunch of things that I liked about it. So our next one is called Abstract, and in parentheses, Psychopomp. This was the one that I was singing while Moses was collecting his thoughts. That was the chorus of it where he's like, see how it shines, see how it shines, see how it shines. And I'm like, oh, I like this. Like, you know, we're a bit confused about the message of this song. Because it did get into some stuff. Where is it at? Oof, I didn't take any notes for that one. But I do know, like, we were kind of a bit confused on the message, and me and Moses were kind of trying to decipher. Now, honestly, that doesn't take anything away from it. If I'm gonna be honest with you, like, yeah, maybe you may not be understanding the message to be able to fully convey. But for me, that doesn't really necessarily change the ratings much. I got 2 A's and 2 S's, so.
Jeez.
Huh?
None. I was like, wow, S's.
But the S's is for production and vibes. Not for lyrics and instrumental. It's just for production and vibes. Lyrics and instrumentals, I gave E's. Yeah, I only have 1 B for lyrics on this entire album, and that's for Who We Are, and it's gonna stay that way. So cry about it. Anyway. Nah, Psychopomp was a good one. Honestly, yo, so damn it, I was supposed to write it down. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. But I was supposed to write the meaning of what Psychopomp meant. I might have did I text it to you, Moses? Like what the definition of Psychopomp was? I'm pretty sure we talked about it like after we finished like the first half of the album. I'm pretty sure I was like psychopomp was like a Greek word for like a spiritual guide or something. Pretty sure. Let me look for it.
Yeah.
I want to actually like I want to actually give the right definition of what psychopomp means, because I don't want to like say the wrong thing and then it's not that. So, yes. All right, so I was right. From what I remember, so psychopomp is Greek for spirit guide or angel. Which is funny how he talks about see how it shines in reference to a spirit guide / angel. So the angel is shining because he's like it's like the light of heaven essentially. But yeah, we were kind of a bit confused because there's like something about animals, and then like I guess the person taking care of the animals, and then like I don't know, there was like a person that I guess was like showing so much care to the animals in the middle of like a busy road. I don't know. I'm not exactly too sure. I just know that calling it psychopomp meant spirit guide or angel. So clearly he's talking about something angelic. I just don't know what. Yeah, I just don't know what. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird song lyrically, so I'll get to that in a sec. But everything else I'd given A's. Honestly, I was listening through it like back like a little bit ago. I do really like the vocal performance, and I think the I think there's some good effects there too. So honestly, maybe I could give production an S for that one. But everything was really an A for me at first. Now, lyrics for Abstract. I wrote down a B to an A, kind of similar to how the Shelby's were.
B-A.
Yeah, B-A. Just because there was a like when I'd read Ingenious about the track, there was a lot of stuff revolving around like roadkill. Like I guess that was like I guess you could call it traumatic, but it was a pretty significant point in Hozier's life when he was a kid and he witnessed like someone taking care of an animal after it like had just gotten hit by a car, and like how the person comforting the animal. I don't know what to make of it though in this song. Especially like when I was doing like the research for the song, it seemed like there wasn't like a concrete because like a lot of the songs that we had mentioned or like talked about like throughout this time have had like contributions on Genius where there's like a very like solidified thing that we're talking about with like each lyric, but this was one where there wasn't anything concrete. It just kind of seemed like interpretations from everywhere. Besides him talking about like the experience of like the roadkill incident, but again, he like I don't know what to do with that in this song. So like honestly, like when I was going through it,
you gotta see how it shines.
I was just about to say that the see how it shines. That was the problem. That was the problem. The see how it shines was getting compared to like headlights as like the roadkill.
Oh.
Like
see how
my
it shines.
God, bro.
It was like the headlights approaching like the animal. So basically, like what it was being framed as was like coming to terms with your demise, like your death, like being the animal, being in the road, seeing the headlights approaching, see how it shines, like basically kind of like coming to terms with the fact that, man, I'm about to get my ass rocked by this fucking, I don't know, Ford F-150 that's going 60 miles an hour towards me.
Yeah, you gonna see how it shines in a
Yeah,
second.
you go.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying there's like spirit guide, like angel, like that kind of thing. Like that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to understand it myself. I don't necessarily fully understand it myself either. But the thing is it's just a fire song. So maybe it's like, not good enough for maybe not good enough to give it an A for the lyrics, but I think it's well worth listening to the song and then like kind of grabbing your own interpretation from it. Like with songs that have open interpretation, sometimes they could be hit or miss, but more often than not, when it's up to your own interpretation, whatever your mind could make up or whatever your mind can connect, like the dots 2 and 2 together, at the end of the day, most people when they see things in their imagination that they like, it's like, all right, that's a good song. So it ended up being a hit for me because I took it in like a different direction than maybe probably you would have taken it from basically the information I was given. But yeah, essentially I like this song so much, bro. Especially the chorus, the vocal performance. Song is nice. The crescendo. Like, he does a lot of things in this song that I think are really good.
It is a really good vocal performance.
So, our next one is called Unknown. I don't have much for Unknown. I don't have many notes for Unknown. Besides the fact that it's the treachery circle, which is the 9th circle of hell. And I gave Unknown an A for lyrics, a B for instrumental, an A for production, and a B for what? I gave it an A for lyrics, a B for instrumental, gave it an A for production, and a B for vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't have too much for Unknown though. It's a solid song. It does play into the story of, Dante's Inferno, but I don't really think there was anything of like deeper substance that we needed to talk about when it comes to this song.
Yeah.
That was all it was for me.
I'm basically right there with you. I got a A for lyrics, and then honestly I had a B for everything else. I was close to making production an A just off of vocal performance, but I guess it wasn't enough to bring it to a A, like a solid A. It's probably like a B plus. It's like on the verge of being an A. It was just a song I wanted a bit more from. Like what it is just didn't sell me. It just didn't sell me enough. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really have a lot to say for this one.
So all right. So if we now finally arrive to the last track. Finally.
He said finally.
This has been quite the experience, Moses. Honestly, like, to go through this with you, to listen to this album with you, the ups and downs that we had, this is probably so far our most interesting episode. this is probably the episode that we've had like the most differing opinions on. And we finally got out of our circles of hell. And now we are stepping forth into the light with the last track of the album called First Light. So for First Light is literally a part of Paradiso. So it's just literally it's Dante's ascension to heaven, essentially, is basically all this song is. I gave it A for lyrics, an A for instrumental, an A for production, and a B for vibes. I don't have much to talk about. This is probably one of the better outros that we've had. I do like the vocal performance that he had on it, and I do like the lyrics that are being said. And with it being like the conclusion of Dante's journey through the 9 circles of hell, this song was it basically solidified it as this is the ending. Like, there's no more story after this. This is like what it is, and this is how I'm going to end the album. And we get we finally get to that, not climax, but we finally get to that resolution of the story. And he finally gets his bearings when going through hell. And he finally ascends to heaven.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so very interesting ratings here, I'm not gonna lie.
What's the definition of interesting ratings here?
Nothing. I just might be a little teensy little bit higher on it than you.
Alright, throw it at me. I don't think there's anything really much that could surprise me anymore.
I think I gave it an S for lyrics and vibes.
Yeah, I said maybe there wasn't anything that could really surprise me. I mean, alright. As for vibe, I could partially understand. For the S for lyrics, I'm a little like.
Yeah, I'm also.
I mean, I guess in your defense, that is fair, because technically, it is a better song lyrically than Who We Are. So, you had that at an A.
That's kind of the thing, though. Is that this... I feel like why I gave this an S is actually because of Who We Are. And the reason why is because this is the catharsis. This is the resolution. Who We Are is very much like a dark song about like finding identity, overcoming like trauma, overcoming like all this like negative shit, but like coming to terms with it, like not even coming to terms, but it's like, I guess it is kind of coming to terms. It's like realizing that like dark shit, and like whether it's like either stuff that is like dark shit, or it's just like the fact that you don't know like your full identity yet, like yourself, like there's like, because darkness gets kind of like used in like 2 ways throughout the album. Like darkness can either be like unknown, or it's like actually like dark shit, like trauma and all this like negative stuff. So Who We Are dives deep into the existence and the pain of trying to cut that out of your life. And like having to realize that dark shit, whether again it's like unknown or like negatives, that is just like a part of who you are now. That like, I really like that dark vibe, and I think that's why I love Who We Are so much, because it is pretty it is pretty dark, and I tend to like darker songs. But I think the reason why I gave this an S is because it resolves that. Like, one bright morning changes all things, soft and easy as you're breathing. Like, those are like the first two lines in the song. What's it called? Yeah, the color erupts, you filling my cup, the sun coming up, like I lived my whole life before the first light. And then a little bit later, he goes like, one bright morning goes so easy, darkness always finds you either way. It creeps into the corners as the moment fades. And then a voice your body jumps to calling out your name, but after this, I'm never going to be the same. So basically, it kind of goes back to who we are in like the dark, like the imagery of darkness being present, like prevalent in your life. But this song, First Light, like not only does it work in the like concluding the Dante's Inferno like story that we've been maintaining, because he's coming out of hell, like literally, like this is Dante's ascent out of hell, but it ties into by tying into that darkness that came from who we are, it resolves that pain.
Wait a minute. You want to talk about darkness? Darkness came in the Selby Part 1!
Yeah, but it's not used like who we are. Like that's where you get more of like that's the unknown. That's the unknown of darkness. That's the unknown. It's not the negatives. Who we are is strictly, or I mean it's it's kind of both. But darkness in the Selby is, it's about the unknown. Like we said, it was like the God, like why did God create the universe? Because there was nothing, that he was lonely. There was nothing. So just to feel like the pain of there being nothing, he filled it with. So I guess if you want to say yes, I guess this does resolve both versions of darkness. It resolves the darkness that's in the Selby, and it reserves the darkness that's in who we are. By bringing this first light. It's like we've been in hell this whole time. We had to deal with all these like issues. We had all this like negative stuff going on like around like our lives and our experiences, but now we've breached from hell. Like we're past the Dante's Inferno. Like we've reached outside of like that state that we were in. And it does a good job like being like an emotional and thematical catharsis for the album. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, this is like a really good closing song for this album. Honestly, because of that, it might be my favorite closing track that we've done. Just because it does resolve a lot thematically and cinematically, because again, it concludes the Dante's Inferno storyline because he's leaving hell. We're no longer in the circles. We've reached first light, like Paradiso, like you said. But it also resolves like the dark emotions that we were going through in other songs that, if left, are just kind of like depressing. But because we have this, it's like the sun will come out. Like, yes, that darkness will be a part of your life, sure. But it's not all darkness. Like, eventually you'll break through and find the light. And I just think that that's just an excellent way to, end this album. I'll give it. I'm gonna maintain my S's that I have, the vibes and the lyrics. Everything else I gave A's, but.
I was about to say, what's the last one, bro?
Production and beat I gave A's, but yeah, lyrics and vibes I'll keep as S's. I'll stand by those.
Alright, so then we come to the last, so that was the last track, First Light. So now it comes to this, we get the conclusion now, of this album. It comes through and it works in ways that we didn't think it would work in. But the conclusion of this album was something, like you said, thematically and cinematically, like, special. So now we have to get, what do we rate the album? Oof. What is your rating for this album?
I'll give it I'm going to say a strong 8. So it's like a 8.6, 8.7. There's a lot of stuff I love. And then there's a lot that I just kind of like. I mean, there's a lot of songs in general in it. I mean...
it's technically more chances to succeed, but also at the same token, it's more chances to fail in the sense of, you got 26 songs, that's 26 chances.
Yeah.
To hit, or 26 chances to completely miss. So, either way, like, you probably gonna come out of here with something or nothing. There might be some things you might not like. There might be other things that you might not like. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, for me, this album has to be a good 9 point. If Nevermore was a 10, I don't know, but this one might be better than It's Nevermore, though. I might have to give this one the 10 out of 10, though. It's so many things that he did well. Honestly, I'll give this album 10 out of 10, bro. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna stand on that. There were some things that missed a little bit for me, but it wasn't enough to take me away from the album. And with everything going through, like, the theme and how it was, then, yeah, if the only, I can't fault it, bro. I can't fault it for having a couple of songs, because not every album... And it's, like I said, it's 26 songs. Not every album is going to have, like, a huge, like, disparity. Like, it's a 26-song album. There's a bunch of chances to hit and miss, bro. It's a bunch of chances that you can hit or you can miss. And for the album of this length, I'm not going to punish it for maybe, like, a couple of misses that it might have had for me. So yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts on the album. So, Moses, I believe you have something to present to us.
Oh, yes, I do. Okay. I guess before I get into that, I wanted to bring this up real quick because it was something I thought was funny. Bro, it's episode 7 and 7.5 that these two episodes are for Triple U. We just like as a little like behind the scenes thing, we, as of recording this, haven't released an episode yet. And I just think
that is true.
It's funny that we are now nearly like 8 episodes in, and we've spent like a whole month kind of just getting ready and preparing. So I thought it was like a little fun, like little milestone just to like check in that like at the point, like at the time of recording this, like literally now, we are about to release our first episodes. Like we've set everything up. It's about to start. So by the time that people hear this, we'll be so far along. It's crazy to think about.
Is that the 31st?
It was the 30th, actually. I just looked at it earlier today.
Oh, so it's releasing Thursday.
No. You mean the episode release? I thought you meant like when we like recorded like the first episode, because we recorded the first episode March 30th.
Damn, it has been a month.
And
we've done. This is basically 8 episodes. Technically, the half episode is just as long as any other episode. Yeah, I'm about to say.
So it'll be May 1st.
Than some of the episodes. So I mean,
it'll be May 1st that the first episodes are published, and we officially go live. So yeah, it's been a month, which is kind of crazy to think about. And I think we've done a pretty good job of keeping things pretty consistent, and even like going back to older episodes and songs to keep the conversation engaging. I just thought it was like a fun little, like, wow, like we still haven't actually like released anything yet, and we're this far like ahead. Like we're so far ahead of schedule.
And it's beautiful, and let us stay far ahead of schedule so we can keep pumping these episodes out, because, you know, especially when we do those special episodes.
Yeah.
When we do the special episodes, it's going to be a time. Our very first special episode number 10, we will be doing special episodes every 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So episode 10 is a special episode, episode 20 is a special episode 30 is a special episode, so on and so forth. So every 10 interval, we will have a special episode. Now, funny enough, like, as we're recording this, as of today, what is it? The 28th? Oh, the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
So as of today, April 29th, 2026, we had 7 episodes recorded, and we also have like up to episode 30 planned out. So it's like we're astronomically ahead. Like more than I ever so thought that we would be. You know, considering like we really do want this. This is something that we've been wanting to do for a little while. And as we said in the first episode, this is something that we are taking seriously and are going to continue to take seriously.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so with the upcoming next week episode being episode 8, that means we are almost close to like our first special episode too. So that will be approaching. As for next week, episode 8, I will be bringing an album, and we will be covering I don't have the year on it. It is Leve's Bewitched, which is technically her, I think, second studio album, but it's her first essential album. It's something that made her very popular. It is it's, I think, considered, it's either pop or jazz, but it's very much like both are very much at the heart of that album. I wouldn't put it one over the other. It's very much like pop infused with jazz, and jazz infused with like some pop. But yeah, that will be the episode for next week. It'll be the album for next week. And we actually, Eli, we have a guest that will be joining us.
Special guest coming for that episode.
So there's a lot to look forward to next week. There's a lot to look forward to.
All right, well, and with that, we must close.
I'm so happy we don't have to talk about this album anymore. No, I'm saying that, but like honestly, overall, it was a good album. It was a good experience. It was
a good experience, bro.
Yeah, there might have been some ones that didn't really impact me that much.
I ascended with Gaelic.
Ascend is crazy. I wouldn't. I didn't ascend. Oh my gosh. So what are you gonna Irish goodbye this too?
Yeah. Pull us around a circle. Octagus nos night. Es clay clue on a lean. It's all in groovy. And with that, we will see you guys on the next episode of Fathers of Taste with your two gracious hosts. I'm Eli, your other host, Moses.
You.
And we will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.